All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is going to be audience participation for a little bit, so go ahead and take yourself off mute.
I'm off.
I'd like to introduce to you today's MC, Miss Tracy Root, the owner and operator of Gather. And she's going to tell you a little bit about Gather and what it is she does, because I lost her bio.
That's all right. I definitely can do that. That is great. Thank you, Tanya. And
She's our MC for the day, so let's support her, and she's going to keep the party moving.
You're going to see a lot of me today, and I'm super excited to be here. You know, it's definitely in my natural tendency to just interject before or after all of the different speakers. So I'm super excited to be a part of this and get to introduce all these amazing, amazing speakers and help everyone get as much out of today as possible as we transition from one person to the next as we go through the day. Super exciting. My name is Tracy Root, and I live here in Santa Cruz, California. I'm a speaker and a coach and an educator and a community builder. I do that through one-on-one and group coaching, and also through our event space here at Gather here in Santa Cruz, downtown. That's where I am today, and I'm excited to be here because with you know, the way the world is today, haven't had a whole lot of time spending here physically in our space. So I'm glad to be here today and get to use this location that I love so much. I'm really excited to be able to bring a start to our day by introducing the amazing and fabulous Ariel Asher. Ariel is a holistic educator with 3 decades of sound and energy healing mastery under her belt. She intuitively serves clients with messaging and modalities that serve their highest potential. Ariel's going to share this United Heart Chakra meditation to center and ground us, as well as unify our heart energies to get us started off today with a really amazing feeling of community. And that is what I am all about. So I'm thrilled to invite Ariel to go ahead and get started. Take it away, Ariel.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So I only have 5 minutes, so we need to get grounded fast. So I ask everybody to get comfortable in your chair and go ahead and settle into your body. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. I'm going to ask that you breathe in light through the center of your heart and allow that light to expand within, through, and around your body. Imagine your heart is this beautiful ball of light. Now I'm going to ask you to breathe in light through the center of your heart, within, through, and around your body. Allow that light to expand down to your belly and up to your throat into one unified field of light. And then go ahead and breathe in light through the center of your heart. And we're going to stretch it out even more, allowing that light to expand down to your hips and up to the top of your head into one unified field of light. And as you breathe in light through the center of your heart, allow that light to expand all the way down to your knees and above your head, into one unified field of light. And as you breathe in light through the center of your heart, allow that light to expand, encompassing your body within, through, and around your physical, emotional, mental body, making one unified field of light down to your feet and up above your head, one unified field of light. And as you breathe in light through the center of your heart, allowing that light to expand, I want you to expand it all the way down to Mother Earth and all the way up to your source in one unified field of light. standing as a free and sovereign being in your pillar of light, luminous in your divine essence, plugged into the planet and reaching to your source. Take a deep breath, breathing in that divine light, letting yourself be that unified field. And then feel that excitement, that joy that bubbles up, knowing that today we are going to get so filled up with love, so filled up with remarkable energy, with all the exquisite speakers we have today. Just let that anticipation tickle and delight your senses, waking up your whole body electric in your unified field of light. And one more time, my friends, breathe in light through the center of your heart. And as you exhale slowly and deeply, settling into your body, letting go of any tension, letting go of any anxiousness, and allowing yourself to be present for this day. And so it is.
Beautiful. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling present and ready for today. I'm so excited. Thank you, Ariel. Beautiful as always. Such a pleasure to start off the day with you. When we talked about you starting off today with the meditation, I was so glad because I knew that that was exactly what we would need here on a Saturday morning to get present so that we could really enjoy everything that's about to come. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. And it's my distinct pleasure now to introduce back to Tanya Tyus Parker. Tanya, of course, is the fabulous producer of this event. Legendary Events by Tanya is the name of her business. And Tanya and I met, gosh, I guess it's a couple of years ago now. I think that was about 2 years ago this month. And so thrilled to get to continue to partner with her on her events and learning as we go with her, all of her years of expertise. It's definitely been a huge influence on me and how I do things here at Gather. So Tanya is going to talk about why pivot. And you can see here with the slide pivot, it looks like she's got pivot as an acronym for us. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to turn out. It's my pleasure, as I said, to introduce Tanya Tyus Parker. Tanya, please take it away.
All right, thank you, everybody. Yesterday, we went over why I don't like the word pivot. I think I can blame it on CNN, NBC, and NC, and Fox, and all those wonderful places, and the politicians who have made the word pivot mean lie, mean change the subject, mean avoid the conversation. And they make it okay because, oh, well, she pivoted to this or he pivoted to that. I don't understand when people use that word because I don't think they really know what it means. We didn't use that word, was actually a noun. A pivot is a thing. You remember, any of you older people might remember Schoolhouse Rock, where a noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. That's how we remembered it. We learned in biology that a pivot, biggest pivot we got on our body is the one that does this. Everybody do that. That's a pivot. Okay, ballerinas pivot, but also basketball players. Okay, this is a pivot. It also oscillates. It oscillates. Now, as entrepreneurs, how many of you did that when you found out that we're going to have to be sequestered or closed in your house for an unknown amount of time? Anybody spend time spinning around in circles? Okay, good, good. Anybody spend time looking this way and looking that way? Or we all did that the first couple of days. I have to tell you, you know, I didn't move at all. I laid in the bed, I turned on the Hallmark Channel, and I waited to see if money was going to fall from the ceiling. Because how am I, a person who gives live events, supposed to explain to my husband that I had dropped deposits at 4 different venues that said non-refundable deposit? All I could hope was that all I could hope was that these people would be nice to me and not have my husband kill me, because it was definitely on the agenda. So I kind of avoided it. I didn't tell him. But then my mentor, I don't know how many of you remember Tony Wilkins. He used to tell me, girlfriend, you got 3 days. 3 days to have a pity party. And if nobody comes to your pity party, it's time for it to be over. So nobody came to my pity party within 3 days. But within 3 days, I got a call from a coach that said, Mama, so my friend, how are you going to do this? I have an idea for you. Is this a good time to talk? And I never tell my coach it's not a good time to talk. I'm never going to tell her that. So she started to fill me with the things that were possible, because I got stuck right there. I froze. I mean, it was literally fear. And these are some of the things that transfer when we think about having events. We either freeze because it's scary as all get out. So it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to do this. Or we start to do what I call analysis paralysis. I'm sure you've heard it before, where we overthink it and we keep overthinking it. And yeah, it's going to be this, and I'm going to encounter that. And then, well, maybe I shouldn't do it. And people like me, once we come out of the fog, we have brilliant friggin' idea syndrome. And we start thinking of all the things that's possible, and they start running through our brains, and we slap our husbands in the middle of the night and say, hey, I got it. I came up with an idea. And I think he's a little tired of that now. So I keep a journal next to the bed so I can get up and write my ideas down, or else I won't remember them in the morning. So yesterday we also talked about 6 keys to doing something that I think Pivot does not take into consideration. Once I got over the fear of being stuck, talked to a person in my support group who said, here's some ideas for you, who was honestly thinking about me as her client. That just really blew me away. And I needed to get up and move. That's the difference between pivoting. It's called momentum. And without momentum, you're stuck oscillating around in circles. You're stuck going from one direction to the next direction, and you need to go forward. Ladies, we're some of the most creative people in the world. Entrepreneurship is not for wussies. It is not for wimps. You work harder for yourself than you have ever worked for anybody else. And that's kind of why we do it, because other people didn't appreciate all the hard work we did. They just assumed that we left the job and didn't take anything home. Well, yeah, we went to job number 2 and job number 3, which all included going home. So we really we focused yesterday a lot on momentum and 6 key strategies to momentum. All of you at some time and some point will have an event, even if it's just a Mary Kay party or a crystal party or a 2 or 3 person small group coaching session. That's an event. And with events, you really want to be consistent. That is one of the keys to momentum, is being consistent. Don't just have one event and then wait 3 months to have another one. You broke the momentum. You get the income right there at that one event, but you don't have anything following up your next thing to the next thing to the next thing. So you haven't built momentum. You haven't started the money flow. So you want to keep having and being consistent. Make it a part of your game plan and remain committed to that consistency. And believe you me, I don't do podcasts because I know I could not be committed to that. I know myself. Know what you can do and what you can't do. You know, a podcast would be something for me to be, it's just not, bottom line, I just don't want to do it. So I don't do it. Because I know it's just not me. The second key is wisdom. Ladies, we have an innate ability and intuition that we should listen to. And I'm going to take you to a place a little bit, it's a little gross, but have you ever noticed that when we feel sick to our stomachs, what do? We go to the bathroom, we find the quickest place, or we grab a trash can because we know we're about to be sick. Men don't do this. They just upchuck all over the place and then say, I didn't know it was coming. They're not in tune. They're not in tune with their bodies the way we are. So our wisdom, our wise women wisdom, helps us to set goals and keep the momentum going. The third key is to keep yourself free of bitterness. How many of you have your gratitude journals? How many? Great, that's wow. How many of you wake up in the morning, you put your feet on the floor, and the first thing you do with the first foot is you say, thank you. How many of you do that? Good. You should try it. It really feels good. Before, as you're on your way to the restroom to brush your teeth, wash your face, look at your face in the mirror, say thank you. You woke up. You woke up. What a blessing. You know, my son tells a sick joke. He says, well, my friend died in his sleep. I said, well, yeah, they died in their sleep. He said, no, Mom, he woke up dead. And it's kind of an oxymoron. He's kind of got a sick, twisted sense of humor. And I don't know where he got it from, but yeah. So when you wake up in the morning, be grateful. Be grateful that you woke up. Keep the bitterness and, oh, she's doing this. And so she's doing what I was wanted to do. tweak what you're doing. Doesn't mean that you have to stop doing what you're doing, and don't hate the other person for doing what it is they feel comfortable with. You're two different people. You're going to attract two different people with you each have a different style. My style is not Stephanie's style. My style is not Erica's style. We could all do the same thing, except for I can't move like Erica. We could all do the same thing, but we're gonna draw and attract other people that like us and our personality. So don't get bitter. I have a coach that I call when I get bitter. And she says, Tanya, stay focused. Stay focused, keep moving forward. So if you haven't built that group around yourself, you really need to develop healthy partnerships with people who support you, who will be there for you. Okay? Who can give you confidence in your business. And that is why I created Legendary Events. I not only have been putting on events for 30 years, I love the details. I love to see smiles on people's faces. I love the fact that women get to get their voices in the room. I never thought I would have such a good time with a bunch of women in my life. I hated women. I was a tomboy. I mean, the kind of tomboy whose father took down the basketball hoop and let the air out of her football and took all his tools back. So I had no choice but to go in the house and start helping with the baby showers and work at the casino with my cousins and start catering dinners and, you know, doing all of those things where I had other talents. So at Legendary Events, it is my goal to either help you do an event by working side by side with you through your event, coaching you through your event, and being that support, that confidence, that partner that will help you make your event unique. Or Legendary Event also trains you. We have a Trusted Alliance mastermind where you can come, share ideas. Nobody's going to steal your ideas. Okay? That's why I call it Trusted Alliance Legendary Events Group in Facebook, because some of us as women, we kind of say, well, I don't want to tell her my ideas because somebody will take it and let's just keep it hush hush between us. And ladies, we got other things to do. We don't have time to deal with messy, and we don't have time to deal with pity in this group. And in this particular mastermind group. The last thing that we do at Legendary Events is we do it for you. We will come in, bring our team, and do the event for you. You show up, you do your thing, you sell your product, you get and build influence in front of people, and that's all you need to work for. That is all you need to do. You are the VIP, and it is our job at Legendary Events to make you look good. And if you talk to some of the people, you can go to our website, www.tanyatiasparker.com, and you can see some of the events that we've done. We do book launches. We do repasses. We do seminars. We do forums. We have a lot of things in the works for next year. We recruit speakers. We also train speakers to do things, to go from stage to Zoom. That's a whole trick in and of itself. So I want you to look to Legendary Events as a resource. I want you to join the mastermind group. Today and through the end of the year, the masterminds group subscription is only $77. And that comes with 2 meetings a week. A month, sorry, woo, a month. And 1 30-minute consultation with me. And in one of those meetings, if we decide we have a topic that you want to present and you're really good at, you will be able to do that. I'll give you 45 minutes to do that. If you want to know how to get on podcasts and what to say and do on a podcast, we're going to call Jackie and say, Jackie, come put on some podcast stuff for us. Tell us what we got. Libby, what do I wear? I got this thing coming up. Well, if the group says we need fashion advice, I'm going to call Libby and say, Libby, can you present for a little bit? But you will always get from me something unique to help make your event unique and possible and easy. Because I really want you to do it with ease. I don't want you frustrated. I don't want you to slip into fear. Okay. It's just not necessary. And it's absolutely fun and I love it. So let me do my thing. Again, the subscription is $77 a month to join this group. You can join it right now. We have a 90-day plan and we have a 6-month plan. So what I'd like for you to do is we're going to go into breakout rooms right now. We talked a little bit about 2021 yesterday and what we expect to do in 2021, because we don't want it to be nothing like 2020. Absolutely nothing. I don't even want to know when Mercury goes into retrograde. I don't even want to know. So as we think about moving forward and doing events, I want you to go into your groups and think about an event that you want to do next year. Share it with somebody, get some feedback, and then maybe you'll come back and share it with us. Are we ready, Athena? Athena.
I'll take it from here. Athena and I are talking offline.
Yes, it is. I was trying to get to my microphone. So
Gotcha.
yes, I do have the rooms randomly selected. So we're going to go in for how many minutes, Tanya?
How many minutes do I have left? 8?
Do 8 minutes. Okay.
And if we can do la la la, la la la, la la la, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 people to a group.
Yeah. So it'll be in a range of 3 to 4 people in a group. Yeah.
Right.
So any other instructions before I hit the button?
I will not be a group. I will not be in a group. So feel free to discuss your things and then come back and share. Have fun.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody's coming back. How was that for you?
Nice.
Anybody want to share how you plan to use momentum in 2021 in your life or in your business? Raise your hand, unmute yourself. Okay, Jackie.
So I'm really excited about 2021. We are going to launch Speaker to these cities. which gives people up to 1,800 speaker leads in their very own markets. And the COVID, talking about pivots, we didn't launch in 2020 because the obvious reasons. Now people weren't in meeting rooms, but many of these meetings that we've identified in each of these markets have gone virtual. And so the silver lining to this was, instead of launching just 20 or 30, we'll have 60 markets in the US and Canada when we launch in the first of the year. That's part of it. The other part of it is we're also launching Speakertunity Sheets, where we do everybody's speaker sheets and their podcast sheets from templates and colors they select. And together we think this is going to be a monumental year for Speakertunity. So I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome. Who else wants to share? Erica, then Katerina.
Okay, I'm excited about continuing the thread of what I was just beginning to touch upon from yesterday, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Artist. I didn't even get to share with you all about that, but I feel like this is now such an important time to be in creativity and opening up our creator. So that's my program, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Artist, and there'll be one group that goes before the new year, and then there'll be one group that's going in the next year, and I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. Next year, we cannot forget about self-care, ladies. We have to do it. We have to do it. We cannot give from an empty cup. And believe you me, 2-time cancer survivor, you want to do everything you can to stay healthy and take care of yourself. Katerina, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm really excited that we've gotten to speak in other states without leaving our houses. And so I'm setting a fun goal for myself. This is to speak in all 50 states without leaving my house. And also, it's been awesome to have new clients in other states that I haven't had clients before. And so I'm also setting a goal to have clients in all 50 states. And the other thing is, I'm starting cruises again next year in February, and I'm gonna hopefully do a new cruise in the fall, which will be a Blissing in Business cruise, which will replace our luxury retreat. So those are some exciting things I'm looking forward to.
Okay, anybody else want to share real quick?
I'll share.
Okay, Diana. Was that Diana?
This is Tracy. I'll share.
Tracy, then Diana.
Okay, terrific. I am looking forward to offering consistency and professionalism in the new year. Mm-hmm. So weekly following instructions and really, really having fun and being very social virtually. I'm very excited about from this point forward.
Okay, Diana Morgan.
Okay. Hi everybody. Good morning. Looking forward to speaking later. I have a great, successful, thriving business, and I'm looking forward to expanding for next year, to expanding my container, reaching more people, and expanding my offerings. And, it just feels really good. I'm loving all of this virtual opportunity to reach more people. I'm super excited that I joined Jackie's community, and I used to be in her community and I rejoined. And, it's such a golden opportunity right now, and I'm grateful that I have these amazing coaches that are just sort of, particularly Katerina, that are, just pushing me forward to stay positive, because it's kind of hard sometimes to stay positive right now. And you, Tanya, too, and it's just grateful.
So ladies, there's a lot of support here. All of the speakers are automatically included in the Trusted Alliance Mastermind. So they can come and share and teach what they know. And I usually give them 45 minutes to do that. It's only an 2-hour class twice a month. So the speakers, once you speak at one of my events, you're automatically a part of that group and you're automatically welcome to share. You just need to get on my calendar with a topic. Okay? In the chat, you will find all of our upcoming events through the end of the year. If you sign up, keep an eye out on the website. That information is there. Keep an eye out for the events for next year. Because if you sign up for the events for next year, which should go out on at the end of November, if you sign up before December 31st and make your first deposit payment, you will get it at this year's prices. Okay? And that's going to be a big savings to you, almost a $300 savings per speaker partnership. Okay, at some of the larger events that we're going to be doing. Also, we're going to, I want you to truly understand that I am here to help you do whatever it is you need to have done as far as your events and retreats and things are happening. So if you want to find out, tell me, we want to go off in a breakout room. I want you to tell me what you need and how can I help? Okay? So please, we're going to exit. If you're interested in receiving some help, joining the subscription to the mastermind group, meet me in the breakout room. You will all be getting, as a bonus giveaway today, my idea dream catcher. It's good. It'll be sent to you in a link in a mail after this, and it has lots of things to color and lots of lists to make your list and goals for next year. All right. I hope what I shared was helpful to you. I know it seems like I'm kind of all over the place sometimes, but thank you.
So good. Tanya, thank you so much. That was so wonderful. I'm so excited to get a hold of that gift. Like I know it's the last thing you mentioned, so I'm going to gravitate toward that just for a second. That sounds amazing. I can't wait to see it and to get a chance to use it. And I want to just thank you for reiterating how important it is to have a circle of support and to have people, you know, on your team, on your side as we're going through all of these huge challenges. I want to help everyone know how to get into Tanya's breakout room. The way that this works most easily so that it's super clear is if you click on the button for participants at the bottom of your screen. You'll see it says participants and it has little people. It says 29 right now. If you click on that, a window will come up and it'll give you an opportunity to find your name. Actually, you don't need to find your name, my mistake. There's a little blue hand and it says raise hand. I don't know which way direction, faces that direction for me. A little blue hand that says raise hand. Raise that blue hand. So if anyone ever says raise your blue hand, that's what that means. You raise that blue hand and Athena will put you into the breakout room with Tanya so that you can find out more about what she's offering and really take her up on what she's offering is what I really need to say, because the value is just beyond. So super excited. Tanya, thank you again for bringing your stories and your love and your personality and your desire to serve to the community today. So good.
So we are all ready, Tracy. So
yeah,
the
we've got
room's
lots
ready.
of blue hands. So the breakout
put them
room's
in
gonna
there.
go.
Yep. So I will start it now, and I'll
All
keep
right.
moving people in there. If you're not in there yet, and your hand is raised, I will get you in there.
Yep. Keep raising that blue hand. And meanwhile, as those people head off to the breakout room, I get to introduce our next speaker, who's going to get started in just a minute here. We have the amazing Susan Tollefson next. And I don't know how many of you have met her, but I think a lot of you. But I'm going to share a little bit about how amazing I think Susan is, because there's things about Susan, that make me remember some of the things I like the most about myself. And so that's one reason why I love connecting with her, which is about being, someone called her the other day, the productivity expert with the heart. And I don't know if you can get to be anything better than that in business, because if you are, you know, able to keep tabs on the things you need to do to move your business forward, but do it with heart and love and caring for the people around you, like that's the best way to go. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about Susan. Her business is called Inside Out Business Systems. And I think that goes to what we were just saying, that the heart and the structure. Susan's been a productivity expert and a coach for over 10 years, and she specializes in identifying the inefficiencies in your business that are costing you time and money and holding you back from realizing your full potential. So looks like we've got a little bit of funkiness on the slide here, but Susan's going to talk about using your time with intention. So Susan, I'm so excited to have you here. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So nice to see everyone. So happy to be here. So when was the last time you thought to yourself, I wish I had more time? It's probably not that long ago. It's one of those things that everybody is thinking now. We have such busy lives. We are running our business. We're trying to, have a family, have a personal life. It's especially challenging now for some people who have their children at home and they're trying to also manage their child's education. So that's a bit of a challenge. So yes, we all wish we had more time. And as an efficiency expert, I help my clients use their time more efficiently, and hopefully that translates back to their personal life and other areas of their life. And my focus is mainly on business, and you're going to hear me talk about time is money, because in your business, time is money, and what you do, how you use your time, does directly impact your bottom line. So I see a lot of business owners that, we're all in doing our businesses. A lot of us are sole practitioners, and, we tend to do everything ourselves. And I think it was Katerina I heard yesterday who echoes what I say as well, as, you're an expert in what you do, not necessarily an expert in being a bookkeeper or designing flyers or designing your marketing campaign or any of those things, which are really important in business. But they're not money-making opportunities. So I like to focus people's time or attention in that area to more high-value type tasks with things like marketing and serving more clients. Somebody mentioned self-care. That's a huge thing too. You cannot give from an empty cup, I think as Tanya said. So self-care is in there too, is a high importance and where you should be focusing your attention. So I'm going to give you some strategies today to use your time more intentionally, and also some ways to free up your time so you can, focus on those things in your business that are more income generating and also have more of a personal life. So I have some slides to share with you. Okay, so I'm going to give you some strategies to increase your awareness. That's like the number one strategy that you want to do to figure out what you're doing with your time. And so I call that conscious time management. which is choosing to spend the majority of your time on your priorities and your goals, which I'll go into a little bit later. You know, so those things that are important in your life. If you're oriented that way, you're going to spend, that's the most important things in your life to spend your time on. So we want to ask ourselves some questions. How will I use my 24 hours? So yes, we all have the same amount of time. It's really up to us to determine how we're going to use it. But being aware of how you use your time is super important. Again, as to what extent that they match up with your priorities and goals. The next thing you want to look at is the activities that aren't necessarily adding any value to your life. You know, there's lots of things we could be doing. I personally think about social media for myself, that if I'm not paying attention, I can kind of drift off and not be focused on what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing. So I have no intention. And so that is some time that could be put towards more focus on my goals. So that's kind of an example of an activity that a lot of us do and kind of go unconscious about. Other things could be disguised as doing people favors or, you know, lending your time to somebody. So that's another area that, especially women, we tend to give our time away and not really think about it too much, but there could be a high cost in terms of your personal energy, you know, and your time. So it's those types of things that we don't really think about as being, you know, a waste of our time, and sometimes it's not, but also you want to look at those situations closely to make sure that you're using your time in the best way for you. Next, you want to ask about your priorities. So your priorities are the things that kind of set a direction for you as far as where you want to focus your energy. And you also want to make these priorities actionable. So, for example, if one of your priorities is your health, you might want to make a plan to take care of yourself. So things could be, you know, looking for healthy meals, planning things ahead of time, putting your exercise schedule in your calendar. So things like that are going to help you stay on track. Then you want to know what your goals are. So both your priorities and your goals are the best use of your time as far as intentionally goes. I would also write those down. You're actually 10 times more likely to reach your goals if you write them down and you have a plan. If I know some people that get intimidated by setting goals, so if it makes you anxious or overwhelmed, you can start small. There's nothing wrong with starting small. You just write down one thing that could be a goal for you and just focus on that. And so when you get the ball rolling, then it'll help you take more steps easier in the future. The other thing you want to do is track your time. This is the best tool for knowing where your time goes during the day. And you're going to be able to see all the opportunities there are for you to use your time with more purpose. Again, it can be overwhelming. Tracking your time, it's maybe write down what you're doing like every 30 minutes or so. So it could be overwhelming when you see all the opportunities there are for you to use your time with more purpose. But just focus for now on making small changes when you start. And so those are the things that really add up, that can make a difference. Strategy number 2 is to be more intentional with your time. You want to manage your time proactively and focus first on what's within your control to change. So this is as your time as it relates to the most important things in your life, and that you're owning your time. It's been my experience most people have more control over their time than they might think. you have to take your own personal situation into consideration. You might not think that you have any time to do anything differently, but sometimes you can shift your focus for like something that you have not thought of before. I was just talking to somebody the other day about they wanted to make more time for writing, and they put it in their schedule a few times a week, and they just never was the right time, or they just never seemed to get to it. So I told them to just put it in their calendar like a couple times a month. And that didn't seem so overwhelming to them. So that's actually was a good solution for them, that they are still moving forward with what's important to them. They're still making traction in that area, but maybe they just needed to think about it a different way. So there's always opportunities within your situation that you want to look for. Next, you want to look at what your habits are. A lot of us have these unconscious habits. Interruptions and distractions are the things I think about. You know, your bells dinging on your phone, when your email goes off, you know, they're all distractions. So of course I recommend that people turn those off, but they're actually very addictive. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a therapist, and she said it's like a hormone producing thing, like for good hormones, dopamine, I think. So, you know, no wonder we're all addicted, because it's, you know, it feels good. So, but, you know, those are actually just opportunities to, you know, be more intentional. Then you also want to define what emergency means to you. So this, again, I see a lot of my clients kind of dropping everything when one of their clients calls them or emails them. But very few things, when you think about it, are real emergencies. So it might just be, you know, a habit that you're used to reacting, which is the next thing. You want to pay attention to when you're reacting to things. You know, this might be an opportunity to have a conversation with the client, to set expectations in the future. Sometimes you know, set the expectation without meaning to at first, when you're first working with somebody, because you might, you know, of course you want to serve them and make them happy. But sometimes you can set these expectations that are unrealistic, and they expect you to, you know, answer them right away because that's what you've always done. So, but it might be a conversation to have to, you know, set more realistic expectations. And also you want to think about owning your time whenever you can. So this is one of those situations that you can, you know, make the decision for yourself. And then it's the little things that add up. So all these interruptions, distractions, emergencies, they really add up over time. So think about this. This happens all the time when I'm working with clients, that they usually have at least an hour a day where they see opportunities that they can, you know, free up their time and use more and be more productive. So that's 5 hours a week. So you know, it adds up pretty quickly, and those 5 hours could go, you know, towards something that's, you know, more important to you. Okay, so strategy number 3 is to free up your time. Again, your time is money, and you can't do it all. So, you know, you're limiting your income when you're, at some point when you're doing things by yourself. So it makes sense to get help if you want to grow your business to the next level. So you want to look at ways to be more efficient. There's a couple of ways that I always look at in people's businesses. So the first is streamlining their systems and processes. You know, for their daily operations, they make things, they make their daily operations function smoother. And this is something that you want to continually work on upgrading. It doesn't have to be a big deal at first. You can, you know, track your sales, your clients, your money, those types of things, you can do a simple spreadsheet at first, but you just want something to aggregate your information so it's all in one place, and you can always upgrade from there. I know a lot of business owners that use that approach. And so they're upgrading to CRMs or whatever it is later. Another way to increase efficiency would be to delegate. So sometimes this can be a difficult decision for people. If you've never managed people before, you're not really sure, what to look for, what to expect. You might not think you have the money. You might not think you have the time to train somebody. But what you do if you don't think that you have the money is that you want to do some research and see, what it's going to cost. And then you can put it in your budget and plan for it. So it gives you a good idea of when you can hire someone. If you don't have the time, you think you don't have the time, you're going to just stay stuck where you are. So there's only so much time and money that someone has. So at some point, delegating does make sense if you want to grow your business past a certain point. Oh, I also want to mention that you can hire a virtual assistant, which is what I did. Only a few hours a week, not very expensive. I outsourced my social media at first, which is something that I didn't like to do. And I also wrote down the things that I did over and over for all my regular activities, and I started to outsource those as well. So again, I think that tracking your time can help you figure out what to delegate. You also want to start planning ahead. So a really easy way to start planning ahead that makes a huge difference is to plan your day. Just a few tips about that. You can set aside time the night before to plan your day, maybe 15 or 30 minutes or so. And that way it's all ready for you to go the next morning. You don't have to think about what you have to do. You want to put your priorities and your goals in your calendar. As I mentioned earlier, the exercise schedule, things like that, you want to schedule those ahead of time so that you are making time for them, as well as time to work on your goals. And make this time non-negotiable if you can, because those are the things that always get overlooked. But it's a way to plan ahead and honor your time and put yourself first. There's also the 3 most important things of the day that I tell people to schedule in their calendar. That way they have a better chance of getting things done, important things done. So know your numbers. Again, time is money. If you don't know your financial situation, you could be wasting a lot of money where you have to hire somebody to clean stuff up. I know one of my clients has to didn't have a handle on their numbers, and they had to send invoices out kind of like on the fly whenever they had to make payroll, like every couple of weeks. So it's situations like that where you can waste a lot of your time. And hold on a second. So some basic things you want to keep in mind are to budget your money so that you have a spending plan, to track your money every day, know what's going in and coming out. If you have a service business, make sure that you track your time and that you actually have a billing system. I know a lot of business owners that leave money on the table this way because they're kind of keeping track of the time in their head and don't really have regular billing times. I know one client who had $10,000 in outstanding receivables because he didn't have a good billing system, and he didn't bill his clients till like every couple of months or so. So we remedied that situation pretty quick. he got all his money back in like 10 days because we set up a plan for him to call people and somebody to come in and help him going forward. So it can really make a big difference. Okay. So really the bottom line is if you've got more time, you can serve more clients and you have a better work-life balance. So if you, so I talked about systems earlier, and what I'm going to talk about is some ways that you can get systems in your business. So I've got a couple offers for you. The first one is I've got a Boost Your Bottom Line Productivity Workshop, where we look at common opportunities to free up your time. We look at the essential systems your business needs to operate at maximum efficiency. It's going to create more ease in your life as well. It's a $97 value. Today, it's $27, which is a $70 discount. I can put the link and the discount code in the chat. There's also, I've got this personal profitability assessment where we spend 60 minutes together. We find the opportunities in your particular business, in your particular situation to, you know, where you're leaving money on the table, where the opportunities are for you. We also spend time together looking at recommendations, strategies to increase your efficiency right away. So this is a $450 value and $69 through October 15th. But if you sign up by Monday, you get an extra bonus, which is a 30-minute session with me. So also, I'm going to put this information in the chat, but you can email me, Susan@insideofbiz.com, and put PPA in the subject line. So I think I have a breakout room, don't I?
You do. Wow. So that is an amazing offer. I'm sitting here writing all this down because I think I need to take you up on that offer. The personal profitability assessment seems incredible and incredibly valuable for all of us. And the workshop, I can attest, is amazing and definitely worth everyone's time. Susan does have a breakout room getting ready, and Athena is getting that all set up and ready to go. So all we need you to do is what we talked about last time, which is raise your little blue hand. If you weren't here before, I'll touch on it real quickly again in case you're not sure how to raise your hand. You click on participants down at the bottom. Right now it says participants with a little 33. If you click on that, you'll have a window come up where you have a blue hand that says raise hand. You click on that blue hand and Athena will put you in the breakout room with Susan to find out more and hopefully get signed up for one of these amazing offers that she's giving all of us. Super cool.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to just say that the main thing that I heard you share that, of course, I hear every time, which is be conscious with your time. And I think we can all relate to those fits of unconsciousness about our time. So take a look at getting into Susan's breakout room and taking her up on those offers, because that just sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Susan. Loved having you here today.
Thank you.
So Tracy and Susan, the room is ready and people are raising their hand and I'm getting them into the room. So we'll go ahead and move there. So if you have any questions, like Tracy was talking about, if you have any questions about the offer too, you can get into the room so she can clarify that for you as well.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Let's
Athena.
give Tracy, let's give Susan a big hand clap.
Yay! Cheers. Great job, Susan. We'll see you soon. And we are supposed to be starting, oh, this is going to be fun. Our next person to come on is Tracy Ann Ty, the Temptress of Sparkle. I am so excited. We're going to have a raffle. Who wants to win some bling? Yeah, everyone wants to win some bling. Just so you know, you have to be present to win. So I'm glad you're all here. Although, and Athena knows who's in the breakout room. So if it's them, they're here still too. We're not like trying to hide from them or anything. So take it away, Tracy and Athena, with the raffle for some bling from Tracy. Go ahead, Trace.
Thank you. just clarification, my 8 minutes is at 12:30 or 11:30?
That's a great question.
So you would just put your timer on and then you'll know how much time.
Oh, so you want me to do the 8 minutes now? Okay, they changed the time. I didn't realize that. Excuse me. Okay, hi. I am Tracy Ty. I am the Temptress of Sparkle. And what does the Temptress of Sparkle mean? It means that I have the ability to make you feel confident and to make you feel radiant and to make you up your, allow you to up your game, whether it be publicly or on social media. Who would like to be in the position to get lots of compliments and to feel really good and to feel really uplifted? Well, that is exactly who I am. I am the Temptress of Sparkle. So I am Tracy Ty, and I am in sales and leadership, marketing and development for Swarovski Crystal. Who has heard of Swarovski Crystal? The global powerhouse and gorgeous crystal and fashion and couture and jewelry. Well, we are Touchstone Crystal by Swarovski. We have many offerings. The very first thing I'd love to present is the job opportunity. Now more than ever, people are looking for an income opportunity. I love to share our consultants are making much more by working at home than they would be at a retail location. Our consultants are actually making what they're worthy of making. I am a retired teacher. I love to be a leader, and I love to help other women. So if you know of anybody that is looking for an extra opportunity, more fun, a flexible schedule, and what they're worthy of making, you know, I would love for you to introduce me to that bunch of friends, women speakers. Imagine earning what you are worthy of, 50, 65, and more an hour, and having fun and having a flexible schedule. Secondly, we are friendly, socially getting together, filling our homes with laughter and love. Virtual pop-ups, we sell our jewelry this way. We showcase fashion and trends. It is a wonderful experience. The third thing we are proud to offer is our sparkly collection of fabulous handmade jewelry, very affordable. 50% of our collection is under $50, which makes for the most beloved treasures as gifts for special occasions, holidays, celebrations, friendship gifts, and forgive me gifts. Swarovski Crystal makes you feel confident, brings out your inner beauty. We love to spread this sparkle. So that's who I am. I am Tracy Ann Ty, and I just want to give you a little bit of tip about my why story. And I loved when Karen and Mel were on yesterday. When they were on yesterday, they said, you know, a lot of people need a little home business. Can you imagine what I've been able to do is I've been able to transition out of teaching, a job I truly loved. I just couldn't keep up with the stress because it was very stressful, as you can imagine, being a teacher, a middle school teacher, a high school teacher, an elementary school teacher, which I did all of the above. And I have the ability to be a really good leader and to help other women to just have fun and flexible schedules and to wear this beautiful sparkle and to share it with their friends. So that's a little bit about my why story. What my offerings are for you is I offer virtual parties. That's right, virtual parties. That means just imagine the Brady Bunch and all these wonderful women getting together on the screen together, just like we're doing with Tanya's event. Thank you, Tanya. You are a fabulous host.
Yes, thank you, Tracy. I think we got Tracy up asking about what you have to raffle off.
Okay, what I have to raffle off is a $25 product certificate. It's a bundle. It's a $25 product certificate. It's a one-on-one styling session. And that's what I have.
Well, let's see it. Let's find out who's going to win. Everyone who was here is on this wheel, and Athena's going to
Good
spin
luck.
the wheel and see who wins this $25 product certificate from Tracy for some
Yes,
bling.
here we go.
Let's
Good
do
luck.
it.
This is fun.
Isn't that great?
And I forgot the birthstone bracelet too. I'm giving you a little bling.
Jackie Lappin. Jackie, you are our winner. Are you still here?
Woo!
Is you still here somewhere?
Let's see. Let me look at my lineup on the side,
Uh-oh,
unless she
not
dropped
there.
out.
She's not there.
Oh, she just dropped out
Jackie
before we started the raffle. And she
Maybe
won
was
yesterday.
Susan's group.
Oh,
She
and
won
she won
yesterday.
yesterday. So
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll remove her. And no, she's not in the breakout room. So I checked that too. Thank you for reminding me,
all
Tracy.
right, well,
so let's go again.
Let's try it again. Yeah, let's see. And of course, if any of you gentlemen aren't into the sparkly blingy jewelry, I'm sure you have someone in your life that you could gift it to. How coincidental that I say that, because our next winner is Jason.
Awesome.
Congrats,
and I did
Jason.
put Tracy's information in the chat. So just in case Tracy didn't get that in there, I did put that in the chat. So you'll be able to reach out to Tracy for her to arrange for that to be sent to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies.
Yay. Thanks, Tracy. Tracy and I had the pleasure of rooming together on our last cruise before the pandemic shut all the fun down. So we had a lot of fun together, and she let me wear a lot of her jewelry when we went out to dinner. So that was super fun. Thanks, Tracy. Great to have you here today. All right, you guys. Our next speaker is our keynote for the day, and this person was here this morning for a minute, but now we get to really hear about her amazing offer to the world, right? That's how I picture Ariel Asher in my head when I think of her and how she shows up for people. Ariel is going to be speaking on resounding resilience. Resilience is definitely, oh wait, oh my goodness, am I wrong? Thank you for that. I am. Oh, you know what? Yes, I see you guys. Hi, you guys. Kelly and Terry are like, hello, no, it's me. And I'm looking at Ariel's photo going, where is she? My mistake, you guys. Thank you so much for your understanding and for my confusion. I am looking at a list with a lot of words, and I even have my glasses on. Anyway, Kelly and Terry are two amazing people, mother and daughter team, who have taken their own personal experiences individually and then combine them together so that they can bring the idea of mastering your fear through the generations, right? Not just for ourselves, but in our relationships with others, with our family, and also with ourselves. So Kelly and Terry are going to share some amazing insights, and I can't wait. I work with Kelly a lot, but Terry I don't get to see very often, so I'm super excited to see what you guys bring for today. Thank you so much, Kelly and Terry, for being here. Take it away. And you're muted. You're muted, ladies. There
Those
you
are
go.
the two most popular words on Zoom, you know. You're muted. So we're unmuted now, and we are so excited to be here with you today. This is an opportunity for us to share with you our experiences with Fearless Living. We're both certified Fearless Living life coaches and trainers, and we're looking forward to sharing some strategies with you today that you can take home, you can do right away, and I can tell you they'll transform your life. So I'm Terry. I have been an educator for over 40 years, and when I retired from that, I found my niche in life through Fearless Generations, and my daughter, Kelly, who was a life coach, who led me to that discovery. And so we're so happy to be here. Kelly is my youngest daughter. I have 4 daughters, and she's my youngest daughter, and she's a mother of 6. So we're going to go from the generation of a young mom to a great grandmother. So what we like to do is bridge generations and share our experiences as we help you navigate fear. And I'm just so happy to be here with Tanya and all of you, because we've heard so many like-minded ideas today, vocabulary, ways to use tools and strategies to reach our intentions and goals. So we want to go ahead and get started, and we're going to share them with you today. So the first thing we're going to talk about is expectations. You've heard that word several times. And expectations are what you believe should happen as a result of what you think, do, say, or plan. And that's Rhonda Britton, our CEO and founder of Fearless Living. So sometimes expectations, as a teacher, I always thought expectations, high expectations, great work from kids, right? But when we put expectations on ourselves personally, and our family, our parents, our coworkers put expectations on us, it leads us to a place that's not empowering, but it leads us to a place that's disempowering. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to teach you an antidote to expectations. So Kelly's going to take it away right now.
All right. We're so excited to be here, as Terry said, and we want to teach you some of those symptoms of expectations so you can be aware of when you're in the land of expectations, as we call it. And so I want you guys to close your eyes right now and really think about these words that I'm going to say. And I want you to raise your hand, be honest and courageous. Raise your hand. Everyone's eyes are closed. They won't know. When I say these words of things that you might say, or things that you might do, or things you might feel. Okay? So, deny, blame, hide, deflect, struggle, control, isolate, whine, assume, judge, procrastinate, settle, condemn, worry, suffer, wait, compare, or feelings like annoyed, bitter, confused, entitled, self-pitying, self-centered, dissatisfied, victimized, irritated, resentful, inconsistent, irresponsible, perfectionistic. All right. So you can open your eyes now. Anyone's arm tired, right? Maybe you raised your hand a little bit during those words, right? So usually about 80% of the words we've done, right, through our lives. We've all kind of started to move into those areas, especially I've seen in this time of pandemic that a lot of people are isolating, right? There's so much fear, so much unknown, so much uncertainty in the world right now. And so people have started to kind of isolate themselves and not really reached out and connected. Or we are over connecting, right? On Zoom all day. Anyone on Zoom all day? Or over committing ourselves to things, right? Instead of, taking some time for reflection and or some time for in-person connection with people. I'm
Kelly,
sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's actually really hard to hear you. It feels like you have your microphone covered, or maybe you just need to get closer. Terry, you sound really strong, but Kelly, you sound like you're in an underwater.
I am so sorry. Is that better?
It's a little better, but it's still kind of muffled. The microphone does, like, you don't have any papers on top of your microphone or anything like that, do you?
I don't believe so. Is that better?
It's a little better. Yeah. Keep up the strength, because we don't want to miss a word.
And one more thing is, your PowerPoint is not, your slides are not just showing on one slide.
Mode.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't moved it.
Okay.
Are you seeing quote on expectations?
No, we're seeing your last slide.
Oh,
It says 1 hour change your life webinar.
oh.
We're seeing your whole presentation.
Oh, that's not what I'm seeing. So let me stop the share and try that again. Let's see if that works. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Great,
Yes. Now it says expectations are what I believe should happen
great.
with a very
That's where
concerned
we want
guy.
you to be. Mm,
Yeah.
we want
Really
you.
keep that voice strong though, because we don't want to miss anything. Go ahead, honey.
Okay, great. So I don't know what you heard, but when we hear these, when we feel these feelings like irritation, frustration, whatever those feelings that we raised our hand for, that's how we know we're in expectation. And it's not really a fun place to be, right? It's not fun feeling those feelings. And I know that during this time of pandemic, a lot of people have started to isolate and or over connect by being on Zoom all day. And so we're gonna, as Terry said, we're gonna be sharing some a tool that we have to help us get more clear on how we want to show up and how we want to be, so that those expectations lose their power and we feel empowered by them.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk a little bit about is the language that leads to expectations. And one of those words is in the slide right here, and this word should. So whenever you say, I should do something, like I should go to the gym, I should not eat sugar, I should finish my dishes before I take a rest. Every time you say should or have to or need to or must, you have a visceral experience. It stresses you, it tightens your heart. For me, it just makes me feel tense. So one thing we can do, a strategy you could do today that could change that and take you out of expectations and put you into intention, which is the antidote to expectations, is change those words. Change the word should to could. I could go to the gym today, or change it to want. I want to go to the gym today. I want to do the dishes before I start watching TV. That will make me feel very good to have my kitchen clean when I walk in later tonight. So changing the words of could, the words of should, have to, need to, must, to could, want to, can change right away. You can do that today. You can start checking yourself. Be aware. How many times have we heard awareness from the speakers today and yesterday? Be aware of your language. Every time you should yourself, you are putting yourself in a position to be expecting something to happen. So again, you're expecting this should happen instead of it could happen, which is a possibility, correct? We've heard that word a lot too. So it could happen, it can, I want it to, I want to do that, it's my choice. And so just changing your language, maybe just take one word and try to eliminate it. Honestly, I still catch myself saying should, but when I start to say it, it only gets, that's about all that gets out, and I'll switch it right away. And so it's that awareness. My body, the reaction of my body changes when I change the word should to could or want or can. I have a visceral experience. We want you to experience that as well. It loosens, we talked about our heart being full of light. It helps bring the light into our lives, being the possibility of doing it instead of shoulding ourselves. So we don't want to should ourselves anymore.
Very, very true. So we're going to, oh, I forgot to do something again. So we provided a handout worksheet for all of you. I don't know if you were able to get those. I'm going to try to open the chat right here. It's not letting me. This is what the worksheet looks like, and we're not going to go through this a lot right now, but we want you to look at it and go over it in your time and really answer these questions and see how you can shift the language to be more empowering instead of disempowering, and how you can put the control or the choice back into your hands instead of acting as if it's something that somebody else is making you do, but it's something that you're choosing to do. One thing that I used to always say is I have to go pick my kids up from school. But actually, I didn't have to, right? I could have left them there and just, hoped that they walked home, right? But I chose to pick them up. I chose to be the mother that I wanted to be and to have them home safe with me, right? So even choices that are somewhat obvious, maybe like you definitely need to pick your kids up from school. When you say I choose or I want, it does change the feelings that are associated with it. So it's like, oh, I have to go get my kids. It's I want to go get my kids. And when you start practicing this, you are gonna see a shift in your energy.
And before we go on, I want to make sure that everyone sees that the handout is in the chat for you to be able to download. It's there, posted by Athena. It says PDF, and you can download it there and then bring it up on your screen. My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. So we're going to be talking now about antidote to expectations and how we can frame those expectations in a proactive and action-oriented way to support ourselves in getting out of the land of expectation.
And so those are called intentions. Another word that we've heard a lot during this weekend. It's amazing. I take really copious notes when I listen because that's the way my more mature brain remembers what I'm hearing. And so I know, Ariel, I think you're an actress, as we like to do local theater as well. So I always say I'm in the third act of my life here. And so by writing lots of things down, it helps me to remember. And I've heard the word intention numerous times. So when you're thinking about your moving forward and you want to think about who do you want to be and how do you want to show up, rather than having expectations around that, you can build and write and think in an intention. So an intention is a proactive statement written in the present tense that encompasses an overall attitude toward life. So intentions are, you can take an expectation and recraft that and rewrite it as an intention. So we're going to kind of model that for you, and we're going to show what those look like in a moment, but right now we're going to kind of show you what it sounds like to build and come to an intention, to build the clarity, to be sure it has action in it so that it will move you forward, but it moves you forward in a way that supports you, it's proactive, and it empowers you. So remember, we're going from expectations which disempower you and bring up all those feelings of irritation and disappointment, and go to an intention which brings you up to moving forward in an intentional, another word we've heard a lot today. So we're going to kind of model that for you. I'm going to let Kelly be my coach, and I'm going to tell her about an expectation I have.
Yeah, so this is for you. If you were able to get that, you can follow along and fill it out according to you. Can you not hear me, Tracy?
No, I can't hardly hear you at all.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why my mic is acting like this today. It's just karma, I guess.
So the microphone is probably on Terry's side of the computer. That's why.
Maybe you could.
Because Terry comes in clearly. So if you're I don't know how you would get a little bit closer to that side, but that's probably what's going on.
Let me see if I can adjust my computer.
Yeah, because that sounds much better, even in that movement.
Okay, how's that? Is that a little better?
A little bit.
Not really?
Yeah, a little bit better.
I don't want to take Terry on.
Yeah, right there, right there.
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so you want to pick one area of your life and answer the actions according to that one area of your life. So we've all kind of heard of affirmations, right? Positive, powerful statements we might say to ourselves over and over again. So we kind of try to start there, and then we take it to the area of putting it into action. Okay, so Terry, what is your area of life that you are going to use today?
I would like to get more healthy.
All right. So what would be an affirmation that you could say to yourself about that?
Well, every day when I look at myself in the mirror, I could say, Terry, you are one hot, healthy 75-year-old woman.
I love it. All right. So now we're going to turn that affirmation into an intention by shifting the focus from a completed task to something you are going to practice. And practice is such an important word because it allows us to not have to be perfect at it, right? I'm sure there's a lot of recovering perfectionists out there, as my mom likes to call herself. And so using the word practice allows there to be some flexibility in choosing this new way of looking at things. And so, Terry, how could you frame that into an intention?
Oh, let's see now. It has to have an action.
Yes.
It has to be positive.
Yes.
And in the present.
Yes.
Okay, let me see. And I'm going to use this every day.
Yes.
Okay. Today, I am willing to practice making choices that keep me healthy.
All right. Now, one of the things that we want to do with intentions, like Terry said, is to make sure that they are in the present moment. That's how we say today. All right. So today I am willing to practice is how we start our intentions. And so make sure you write that down so you remember. And then I'm willing shows that we are willing to take that action. We're going to up that level of willingness around this area. And then practice, as I said, allows it to not be perfect. So Terry said, today I'm willing to practice taking actions towards being healthy.
Making choices.
Making choices towards being healthy. So what is the reason she wants to be healthy?
Because I'm going to live another 20 or 25 years, and I want to be able to interact with my family, continue working, and being of service to my community.
All right, so that is a worthy thing, right, to want to do, and by making choices to be healthy is definitely going to be something that is empowering her, right, as she goes forward. So you might want to think of some goals that would support that intention, and we'll ask Terry about some of those goals. But with the intention, we want it to be clear and concise and not really long, because the shorter it is, the easier it is to remember and say it to ourselves when we get in those situations where maybe we want to make an unhealthy choice, right? And then also we want to write it down and we want to put it up everywhere so that we're constantly remembered about this being our intention of how we want to go forward. All right, so it can be, because that whole saying of out of sight, out of mind. So we can forget that we have this intention sometimes, especially when it's new, right? So we want to put it up around all over the place. All right, so Terry, what are some of your goals that can support your intention?
Okay, I know these goals well, and if I have this intention up around and I pay attention and say it every day, it might keep me from eating sugar. It might keep me drinking more water, taking my daily walk, and getting 7 hours of sleep every night, and limiting screen time.
All right. So by doing those things, do you feel that it will support you in your intention?
I am quite positive that it will help me to be more healthy if I can incorporate and internalize those goals and practice them on a daily basis.
All right, sounds good. So when you say that intention statement to you, do you feel empowered?
I do.
Awesome, because that's what we really want our intention statement to do. Because when we say it to ourselves in that moment when we want the sugar, like we really want ice cream, if we say that to ourselves and it empowers us, we're more likely going to grab, you know, maybe some or something else that will kind of satisfy that sweet tooth without it being sugar, since that's one of her goals. All right. And then you want to think about how your life would be different if you lived in your intention. So, Terry, how would your life be different if you got 7 hours of sleep every night, stayed away from the sugar, and did those other goals that you set for yourself?
Well, I can tell you that when I practice these goals, and this is kind of cheating because this is one of my intentions that I live every day, I actually have more energy. My mind is more clear. I'm able to, just as we talked about time management, I manage my time more effectively. I can stay focused. And when I stay up streaming Downton Abbey or something till 1 or 2 in the morning, the next day, I don't have that. So because I'm practicing as a recovering perfectionist, I can take the data when I do and when I don't, and I can make a clear path to live that intention because it supports my goal of being interactive with my family, having energy, serving my community.
Yes. So as we see those results as well, that will empower us even more to live and stay in that intention. And we really want that those, facts or whatever we may call them to be there to empower us to keep making those choices. So, excuse me. So we really love being able to share this information with you today. And we wanted to see if anyone had any questions for us or anything that we can do to support you in you creating your own intention for yourself.
If anyone out there has any questions, you can raise your hand. You can physically raise your hand. You can write them in the chat and we'll pass them along, or they can read them themselves. And I'm trying to see myself if there's anything coming through. I want to say, you guys, that Terry, you're like my issue twin, us recovering perfectionists, right? We've got to learn from each other all of the time. Yep. I'm very with you. Thank you so much for everything that you guys shared today. The other thing that go ahead, Kelly.
If there's no questions, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about our next steps.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Thank you. So we have a group coaching program called Stepping Towards Freedom, and it just started this month. But if you're interested in being in it with us, it opens back up in January, and we go over 12 steps to freedom, which were created by Rhonda Britton, as we talked about her previously. And it's a really amazing coaching program. Already the movement that the ladies have had is really awesome. And then our offer for those of you that are here today with us, we are going to do a 1-hour sneak peek into our Change Your Life workshop. It will be a free workshop just for you as being here with us today. And we're excited to have you be there with us. It's going to be on the 14th of October from 5:30 to 6:30 Pacific time. And then we also wanted to let you know that we have our next workshop series coming up. And we are also offering you a discount on that workshop series where you would get all 3 workshops for $67, which is a $77 savings. So we definitely hope that you pick us up on this because Fearless Life, which is the workshop we'll be doing, is a really important workshop that teaches you and really gives you the information that you need to change your life and start living with less fear, or at least fear not holding you back so much. So we thank you so much, and we invite you to go forward being fearless, and we just really love being here today.
And Kelly's going to put all of those links in the chat box so that you'll be able to access any of those workshops. And we hope to see your faces on the screen when we get together again. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you today. So be fearless.
Yeah. And I think we still have a couple more minutes if we want to do questions. I know people didn't necessarily raise their hand at first, but if there is, we're here to answer.
Great message, you two.
Thank you, Susan. And Susan's been on our podcast as well, and a few of you here. So we really love all of the community support. And our podcast is about 12 Steps to Freedom as well, which airs every Monday night at 9 p.m. Pacific. But you can always listen to it at any time through following the link that is on our Facebook page, Fearless Generations, or going to our website, fearlessgenerations.org.
Wonderful. And those links are in the chat for your website, for your email, and the topic. Kelly, you're going to put more of the links for the workshops and things in the chat as well, you said?
Yes. Everything will be in there in just a second.
Perfect. Perfect. And, you know, I will tell you for some of the things that I was seeing in the chat, well, we didn't have any questions. We definitely had some testimonials of saying how amazing the series is and how amazing the workshop is. So that's wonderful. Thank you. Those of you who shared and said how much you enjoyed Kelly and Terry, I will definitely agree that the meat, right? The strength of this content is so important to so many of us that we can't help but benefit just from hearing you guys speak today. And of course, thank you for your generous offers. So excited to be able to share that with the community. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Sorry about the microphone issues.
You know, and it was off and on. So we definitely could hear you. It's just sometimes was easier than others. So it'll be okay. Wonderful. Thank you. So do be sure to find the links that they posted in the chat so that you can take them up on their, you know, the bonus workshop that's going to be on the 14th. That's the 1-hour workshop that gets things started, kicks everything off. And of course, the links for the 3 workshop series and the group program. So the group program actually started already, but you're still taking people, even though they can kind of get caught up maybe with a recording or something like that. Yes, they're nodding. Excellent. So yeah, so wonderful stuff. Thank you again, Kelly and Terry. So glad to have you. And I apologize for my flub earlier in introducing you, but at least you got some extra attention maybe that way. And the other person who gets extra attention because of my flub, oh yes, and please let's all give a hand to Terry and Kelly for their wonderful talk today. Yay! Cheers. We've got silent applause, but it's all good, right? We know how Zoom works. Thank you, Erica. Excellent. Okay, wonderful, you guys. I'm going to take a deep breath because I really need to have all my wits about me to introduce this next amazing speaker because she's amazing. And I don't know if I can come up with a better word right now. So in one more breath, before I announce the up-and-coming speaker, Ariel Asher, our keynote speaker for today. Ariel is going to be speaking on resounding resilience, evolving toward a new normal. And we talked about the best way to kind of touch on what she's going to be talking about, and nothing is better than the words that she shared with me. So let's hear it. Today, our guest, Ariel Asher. She is a holistic educator and empowerment leader. She's going to outline some steps to reclaim our personal and professional power after the trauma of a global pandemic and this economic crisis that we're in. As an empowerment leader, Ariel assists speakers, authors, and new thought leaders who are ready to show up, speak up, and stand out by providing multimedia publishing, promotions, and visibility opportunities to deliver their message to the masses. She's the founder, producer, and award-winning show host of the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul Network. The Healing Body, Mind, and Soul Network won 2 2020 Communicator Awards of Distinction for her feature podcast, Self-Care Under Quarantine, and her work as a show host. She's a contributing author to 3 international best-selling books and is currently leading a compilation book project entitled Empowered Self-Care for a Better World, and that's due out February 2021. I have the privilege of being a part of that project with Ariel and getting to experience firsthand how she does what she does with her community and supports all of these up and coming voices and thought leaders to share what they have with the world. And it's just wonderful to be a part of, and I can't wait for you to hear what she's got to say today. So let's all welcome Ariel Asher. Applause, applause.
Hey, hi, everybody. It is so awesome to be here today. I'm going to do a screen share. I have some slides to share with you today. I love slides. It helps make sure that I don't drift into other topics because I love to talk. And everybody that knows me knows that I love to talk. Gosh, that was a great introduction. I don't know about anybody else. I get kind of embarrassed. It actually makes me more nervous when they read my introduction than if I just start talking and I'm like, who are they talking about? You know, it's so weird, you know, because I'm like, oh, it's just me. Although, you know, when Tracy, when you went to skip the Fearless Generations ladies, because we had had a tete-a-tete earlier and I knew that I was coming after them, you had me a little bit deer in headlights. So I've done all my energy management to get myself back in check. Oh my gosh. Resounding resilience. I always love to keep my titles as vague as possible to give me the most room to just be intuitive and speak to the room. I am a sound healer, and today I'm going to be talking about resilience, and that is a fact because we need it, right? Can you believe 2020? We did not see that coming, or maybe some people saw it coming or felt it coming. I know for me personally, there were a lot of changes that made me grateful during this whole thing that the changes had happened beforehand. Today, I'm going to introduce myself and share my story. I'm going to give you a little bit of a vision and maybe some experiential stuff about self-care and my take on self-care with a quick meditation tool and help you raise your vibration. Then I'm going to get into 7 ways to cultivate resilience. And I didn't come up with those 7 ways. I actually went on Psychology Today and I'm like, I want to do some research here. So I extracted 7 ways to cultivate resilience, and I'm going to talk about my take on those. And if we have time, I'm going to go through my my evolution, the 12 empowered leadership action steps. Now, I don't want anybody to worry. I'm going to offer you so much free stuff. You're going to be like, oh my God, Ariel, when am I going to have the time to read all this? When am I going to have the time? So I just want you to know, I am going to share with you about my book project at the end, not to sell you, but to know that this is, it's going on and to know what it entails. If you're interested in participating, there's still room for a couple more people. So if you'd like to, but I just want you to know what I'm up to so that I can provide assistance and community for you if you need me. So let me get to it then. Tracy's wonderful introduction covered a lot of territory. I am a metaphysical doctor. I have a doctorate in, in metaphysics. I'm a master practitioner, and I had an award-winning holistic healing center, which was my lifelong dream. And then I had to let go of my dream. I won all these awards. My ego was super attached to my Reiki Angel Intuitive Arts Center. I won all these awards. I didn't want to let go. It was like prying it out of my cold, dead hands because I had a lot of success, and I was stepping into being a speaker. The fabulous Katarina Rando helped me get set up and pave a path for that. And what I realized then was I was always a speaker. I was sort of coming out of the womb being a speaker and a leader and kind of doing that. And the Fearless Generation ladies did mention I am a performer, so I kind of had all of those things going on. And what I've evolved myself to now is the founder, producer, and award-winning show host. I created the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul podcast network, and now it has evolved into, well, I already had a YouTube channel, but now that is branded as the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul channel. And I'm also on the Voice America platform with that show. And yes, Tanya, I do it every single week. Yeah, that podcasting, it is it really is it's a commitment. But for me, because my background is in production, it gives me something to do. I never think of myself as a coach. I think of myself as a producer. I don't do programs, I do projects, right? And I lead people through projects, and there are different pieces of the project. But Katarina will attest to, she had a terrible time trying to get me to figure out programs and how this all works. I didn't understand it. It was a foreign language, but luckily I think I've got my stride now. So let me back up just a little bit and tell you a little bit. Well, I think I left my center in 2017, in late 2017. And I was having this evolution of recreating myself and being in that awkward state of having expertise over here and having skills here and not quite having everything glued together. But by 2019, I had it together. I was, my theme was self-care. I was really embracing, you know, we have our intentions for the year. My word for 2019 was self-care. So I really spent a lot of time meditating and really getting clear about my own self-care, my own habits around that. Now that I didn't have my center anymore. So funny, running a holistic health center, how your self-care can fall to the wayside because my life became about helping the other practitioners run their part of the practice. So it was a different thing for me. So 2019, I really pulled my energy in. I was like 1 year ahead of the self-quarantine thing, right? So I really pulled it in. I was doing okay, everything was fine. And in late 2019, I'm telling you this because this is my angels, masters, and guides really leading the way for me. And I was really following it this time. I started the Empowered Self-Care Book Project, with Tracy mentioned that she's a part of, Katarina Rando is a part of. I started that project in late 2019 and set out to compile my own book. I wanted to gather the authors. I wanted to gather the healing practitioners that had worked for me at my center. I wanted to gather spiritual teachers. I wanted to gather all these people together because I knew that I was supposed to create a portal, a vehicle, a project with my website. I knew it involved technology. I'm just sharing with you my intuitive hits of what I knew that I was moving into. And I just kind of went there, right? I just sort of followed that energy. And then bam, 2020 hits. What the? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It hit everybody in different ways, but it hit everybody. This is such an interesting time, right? My woo-woo people, I'll call them my woo-woo people because I'm allowed to do that because I am a woo-woo people. my woohoo people would say we're moving into this this more Aquarian time, right? Some people would even venture to say, oh, the fifth dimension, and some people would say, oh, the fifth dimension sucks, right? If it contains COVID-19, I don't want any part of it. So those are a couple different topics that I'm touching on here, but I think that what all of this shelter in place, what all of this expanded consciousness, I'll call it, that's coming onto the planet, what all of this has taught us. Oh, I put a PS, so I didn't remember. So I remembered to tell you guys, my word for 2020 was vision. And thank goodness I had it, or else I would have been a wreck, honestly. But what did we learn in 2020? Well, we learned that self-care was the #1 thing that we have to take care of. If you are not managing your own energy, if you are not taking care of #1, your oxygen mask, you know, we've heard that one before. If you're not doing that, you're not going to be able to serve. You're not going to be able to handle your kids. The fearless generation women know that to a T, right? Kelly's got 6 children to manage, right? That is a lot of people that have to stay home and you have to manage. So if you weren't on top of your self-care and you weren't managing your energy well, in March of 2020, you got a crash course, right? You got a crash course. And we can still see this playing out in our, in the big picture, right? How self-care and people's thoughts and ideas about their self-care are really affecting others. The issue of whether to wear a mask or not wear a mask. I mean, this is all playing out. It's still in the big theater in front of us that we're watching every single day. Well, luckily, 2019, I was doing self-care, right? So luckily I was meditating a lot, I was paying attention. And as soon as the shelter-in-place orders came, I had promised my ladies that were in my book, I had promised them a video series. I have a background in video production, among other things, right? So I'm all, yeah, we'll do a video series and we'll make it really nice and we'll do the, you know, and I can set up a show on my background and, you know, it's easy for me to do to produce things. I'm a producer. So I produced a 4-part series called Self-Care Under Quarantine. And lo and behold, we got lots of recognition. And, you know, the reason it was so hard for me to let go of my healing center, remember I said it was something like prying it from my cold dead hands, because it was my life vision, right? And I had all these fancy awards on the wall and everything, and whoop, whoop, the universe goes, oh no, Ariel, it's okay. We're going to give you these shiny trophies, you know, and I know that sounds strange maybe to a lot of people, but to me, it was really a concrete sign. I didn't try to get that recognition. To me, that was a concrete sign that I was on the right path in my business, and I was on the right path with myself and in what I was doing. So that was a double whammy for me, and it really was a wake-up call for me that that finally I was doing what my vision was. Finally, I was providing this service and I had arrived to the spot and I was in motion, right? If you'd like to check that out, by the way, you can go to tvshow.arielasher. I just made up that link. There's other ways to find it, but that link is the cleanest way that you can just go find that and check that out. That's our Voice America TV show. We're doing pretty well on that. And you can see that and some other stuff on there. I think Kelly has been on my podcast. Lots of the ladies have been on my podcast. I love doing it. I can't stop doing it. It's talk about consistency. At one point, I had so many interviews because I was doing so many interviews on my podcast that there was a waiting list almost 3 or 4 months long to get in the production line. to be published. That was a good feeling. And when COVID hit and I was doing all my self-care, my part-time side gig of teaching public speaking to children ages 8 and up became a full-time thing. So something has happened that I just keep being taken care of if I take care of myself. So when COVID hit and I could no longer do any body work at all, and my downsized healing center became a non-existent practice. Actually, that's not true. I still have a couple diehards that are still around getting body work and energy work for me, either online or other ways. But as that was dying, I was teaching and helping the agency that I work for teach kids. So I got to be an early adapter once again and really master how to do Zoom and how to do all these things. And that was wonderful. And so I just made the transition. And now I'd like to help you out and do some fun energy work things with you to make sure that I share some of those gifts with you, because we've been talking a lot about, really what I'm up to in my business right now is supporting other healers, but I'm a healer. So let me offer you some healing as well, besides just being the leader that's leading other healers. Before I did a nice meditation with you this morning that was a super speed through of something that I call the unified heart chakra. And I've been doing that, I don't know, maybe 20 years. I've been doing that same meditation or some variation of, and for me, it's the quickest way from the heart and connecting down into Mother Earth and up into Source, bringing that down and letting that energy overflow from the heart is the quickest way to get me present and to get me centered. And that pillar of light that's really calling in your energy so that you know where your energies start, where they stop, blah, blah, blah. So self-care for me was something that was really spiritual, right? I told you 2019, I was self-care. I was going deeper. I was going deeper. I was doing all my energy work. I was igniting my divine spark. I was claiming myself as a free and sovereign being. And then, boom, lo and behold, there we were in 2020. Oh, look at this. I have on my screen here. If you're wondering what an F-bag is, I'm going to teach you what that is in just a moment. It's not an obscenity. I just put that on my screen to remind me that I wanted to go through that particular exercise because it's not necessarily fitting in with some other stuff. So I just put it on the screen for myself. So self-care for me got even more intense. I started a couple side hustles. Did anybody else start any hot side hustles in 2020? I've heard some people, Tracy made a great offer. What a great side hustle. Bling, are you kidding me? I started a side hustle and I lost 35 pounds with Isagenix. So that is great. And now I'm leading other people. Talk about my thing. Now I have my thing on top of my thing on top of my thing. And I also got a new energy tool that is a device in which I'm able to scan people's auric field. So now I have a visual representation of the energy work that I'm doing with people so I can communicate with them like that. I'm going to make a free offer for you to get a free scan of your aura later on. So if you want to play energy with me, then I'm going to give you a free, so much free stuff. I mean, I'm really going to give you a ton of free stuff. Anyway, I just derailed myself. Okay, let me get back on track here. So let me talk about raising your vibration. All right, let's get to this F-bag thing because I know I have to have piqued your curiosity. I did that. It's intentionally provocative and it's intentionally weird, right? So for me, the F-bag is fear, betrayal, anger, and grief. Now, before you can raise your vibration, you must clear your energy and your physical body of these lower vibrations. bag, right? So we got to get that stuff out of there. And, you know, when we get triggered, like with, I don't know, a global pandemic, we get triggered with something, you know, your emotions, and this is what the Fearless Generation ladies were just talking about, right? Your emotions just secrete a cocktail into your tissue, the issues in the tissues, right? Those emotions live in your body somatically. They're in the tissues. You know, when you get that fear, that pumps out all kinds of stuff into your tissues, into your organs, all over the place, and that stays in your body. Yucky poo-poo, and in your energy. Yucky F-bag. Okay, so I want to run you through a really quick exercise. And, you know, forgive me, everybody. If anybody knows anything about astrology, I have a Gemini rising, which makes me go from subject to subject. So now you understand why the slides, so I don't get too far off subject. So don't worry, I'll bring us home safe and in time. Okay, let's get rid of that F-bag. What I want you to do is I want you to go inside for just a moment, and you may want to close your eyes for this. And I want you to imagine you can use like a butterfly net, or you can use a colander, or you can use some cheesecloth, something to strain out. We're going to take a deep breath and we're going to strain out. Just imagine straining out, and we're going to blow out all the F-bag, the fear, betrayal, anger, and grief into a big poop emoji in front of you. You're going to have to use your imagination here. Did I mention that? Oh, sorry. You're going to have to do it anyway. So you're going to go ahead, get it? Oh yeah, I see some. And I'm going to blow it out. Okay, now what I'm in my mind, I'm creating a big pile here. I'm going to put the F-bag outside of me. So I'm imagining going inside and pulling out any dark clouds, anything that would be considered an F-bag, fear, betrayal, anger, grief. You want to pull that stuff out and imagine it. And I just really imagine a little poop emoji right in front of me in the room. When I do this live, I have the whole group and we all breathe in. Now we can't do it because we can't breathe out loud, right? In close to each other. So you can breathe as loud as you want, because the more air you can push out, the more F-bag you can expel into your imaginary poop emoji. Okay. Now that you've cleaned that all out and have it out there, I'm going to give you a breath support exercise because I'm a public speaking teacher and a performer. I'm going to give you a breath support exercise that will clear this energy so we can really multitask here. Okay? Do you understand where I'm coming from now? We're just going to multitask. We're going to clear this energy. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a nice deep breath. And you're going to count off 1 by 1 and 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 and 4 by 4 and 5 by 5 and 6 by 6 and 7 by 7 and 8 by 8 and 9 by 9 and 10 by 10. They all went away. And as you're using just one breath to clear this emoji, or this poop emoji, this F-bag that we've created out here in cyberspace, okay? And I want you to imagine that you can just get that stuff out of the way, however you do it. Maybe you have a big shovel or a pitchfork. I don't know what psychic tool you use to get that stuff out of your way, but you need to do something to clear that energy out of your space so that you can fully embody your highest potential and light, and so that you can bring your passion and truth forth so that you can be that pillar of light. So let's do it together, and let's clear all the way up to 12. See if you can get all the way up to 12 in one breath. So get your pitchforks out, get your shovels, whatever you use to clear this metaphorical F-bag. Okay, here we go. I wonder if you can get all the way up to 12. I just did 10. Let's see if I can do 12. Take a nice deep breath. 1 by 1 and 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 and 4 by 4 and 5 by 5 and 6 by 6 and 7 by 7 and 8 by 8 and 9 by 9 and 10 by 10, 11 by 11 and 12 by 12. They all went away. Now that was easy, effortless. I encourage you, especially if you're a speaker, to try this exercise over and over again. Even if you don't go through the mental part of clearing your F bag, the little stuff that gets in our way. I encourage you, if you are a speaker, to try this exercise. Even do it as you're doing walking your dog in the morning. And if you can get up to 15, if you can get up to 20, if you can get up to 25 and have that really great breath control and breath support, it's going to make you a powerful speaker. You're going to get more oxygen in your brain so that you can be on point. And you're going to be able to pull in your energy because you've cleared all of the negativity, and you're going to be able to allow more of that divine source energy to come in and fill you and guide you. So after raising your vibration and clearing this F bag with this beautiful breath support exercise, I think the highest I've seen any of my students, my public speaking students, go up to is 27. I know. He was a swimmer. I don't know, and he was young. I think he was in his early 20s at the time that I was working with him. I have never seen anybody have such incredible breath support to have all of that in one breath. He was a swimmer though. But I digress, as usual. Okay, so you want to embody your highest self. What do I mean by this? I want you to actually invite, dear higher self, please come on in. I want the highest aspect of myself to be present all the way down to my toes. Wiggle your toes. You want to be all the way present and behind your eyeballs, all the way into your body. The highest aspect of yourself. Invite in your higher self and consciously choose to live your passion and truth. Okay? And then when you can be in your pillar of light, as I like to call it, and claim yourself as a free and sovereign being, then you can really be guided by your heart and share your presence with the world, right? Now, I'm not the only person that talks on self-talk. We've heard, or excuse me, self-care. We've heard lots of wonderful people, even on today's call and yesterday. And on Thursday, I did kick off my live stream series of all the empowered self-care speakers. That's every single Thursday. Yes, every single Thursday, Tanya. Yeah, every single Thursday. Actually, we're only going until November 19th on that one. But if you'd like to check out our live stream, we've got lots of really fantastic speakers who will share other self-care tips for you. That's just my 2 cents about self-care and eliminating the F bag, which I had to fit that in there somehow. Sorry, it was just a must. Now, resilience. I did a little research on this because I knew what I thought resilience meant, just the way Tanya was talking about pivot. And I love the way that Tanya reframed pivot. And of course, she's always so funny and has great observations and everything. But I decided to go digging around and see what some other leaders and experts in the media were saying about resilience. And I extracted from Psychology Today these little tidbits on resilience. And I think you guys will agree with me. I really liked these, so I thought they were worth mentioning. Cultivate a belief in your ability to cope. Seems like a no-brainer, right? But it is like that nuance between expectation and intention. You know, we really want to cultivate that belief. There may be some hidden beliefs in there that you can't cope, right? Go excavating those. Let's go get that F bag out of there. don't like saying that. I've noticed that now. Okay, number 2, stay connected with sources of support. Not only your divine source, that's a given, right? Self-care has to come first, but you've got to stay connected with other sources of support. You have got to stay connected with legendary events. You have got to stay connected with Katarina Rando and Diana Morgan to help you out with your social media, and Tracy Root to have gather, to have that space, right? You need those sources of support of the leaders of your community. And some of you, I mean, there are many more leaders on the call I know today, and please excuse me if I neglected to mention any of my favorite leaders. You get my drift here. Number 3, talk about what you're going through, right? You need to verbalize it. You need to expel the F-bag somehow through breath, through words. You need to get the issues and the tissues outside of your body, right? Number 4, be helpful to others. You want to know how to make your day feel better? Uplift somebody else, help somebody else. That's going to make you feel better, make you feel helpful, right? I'm a workaholic. I know. And luckily I have lots of coaches to remind me to stop it, Ariel, which they do every once in a while. But really, you know, be helpful to others. My stress reaction to things. Well, you saw my stress reaction earlier. Self-care under quarantine. I decided to produce a series. That's my stress reaction. I think I'll produce an award-winning series. That's my stress reaction. Work more, organize more. That's kind of my thing. I need to disengage and go lay down. Number 5, activate a positive emotion. Now, once again, this is like the nuance between expectation and intention, right? This is, you've got to catch yourself right there. Oh, positive, right? We want the positive emotion. We want that vibrant, outward, flowing sound wave. We don't want the inner static and cling and going internal. You know, there's a time and a place for that. But you have to consciously choose happy, especially right now. There's so many triggers. You have to say, I'm sorry, I'm in my joy mode. My joyometer is just not, my joyometer is only at 30%. We got to get it up there, you know. You are responsible for that. That is part of your self-care. Number 6, cultivate an attitude of survivorship. To me, that's kind of like build your belief in your ability to cope. And for me, I don't know, and for anybody else who has had any childhood trauma or anything, you know, you are a survivor and you are gonna make it. I swear, if there's a zombie apocalypse, everybody wants to come to my house because I'm gonna kick ass. I don't know about you. I am going to kick ass. Me and my pack of little lap dogs, and I'm going to protect our grandma, my mama. My mom lives with me. She has a walker and has some limitations. You better believe I'm going to go to bat if the zombie is going to come. So that's all I got to say, is I'm going to protect my my people and my own space. You know, remember, your self-care is part of that survivorship too. Making sure, you know, remember that is number 1. Don't ever forget that part. And number 7, I love this one because I know people think I have this big fun personality, but really I'm a philosopher. I feel like I'm a teacher and a philosopher. And for me, continually going deeper into why is this occurring? What is this showing me? What am I looking at here? Zoom out, get the big picture, see what the meta message is. Really, you know, zoom out, see what the meta message is. What's it showing us? You know, like I said, 2020, it's showing us if you are not taking care of self-care first, it's going to be a long haul, right? We see that. I'm not going to get political or anything, but we see stuff playing out on the screen in front, on the big screen in front of us that are, it's really, really interesting. You really are wanting to connect to yourself, know what your beliefs are. You're a free and sovereign being. Anyway, so 2021, what's your word? Mine is leadership. I think it's about time my word is leadership. Have you seen this? It's like when I get stressed, I lead. When I get stressed, I lead. And then when I get stressed, I lead. So the more stress, the more I keep creating projects and bringing more like-minded and like-hearted people with me. Anyway, so let's see. I don't know how much time I have because I don't see my little... I have 10 minutes. Oh, great. I still have time. Oh, good. Thank goodness. I thought maybe I off-railed myself there with my F-bag there for a moment, but good. I'm glad I kept myself on track. Okay. So leadership for me really became my, when I'm looking forward for 2021 is really what I'm steering into. And I really want to help empower other people that are up. I really want to empower other leaders. Right? Because we need leadership so much at this time. And so my answer to stress is more self-care so that we can have more competent and grounded leadership. The more happy individuals, the more connected individuals who are connected to their higher source, who are grounded energetically into the planet, that are walking around, really observing what's going on instead of being reactionary to things. I mentioned it earlier, we're moving into this more, I won't get too esoteric, so if there's, don't worry, I won't go too far into woo here. But as we have the increased vibrations on the planet and the things that we are dealing with right now, and this more sort of dawning of the age of Aquarius, well, now here we are in the age of Aquarius. We've been singing about it since the 70s, I guess. But now here we are. This is it. This is that moment that we've been waiting for. We're really in a more cooperative. We're in a more plugged in time. This connecting to your source and grounding and being in this sort of your best personal space. This is not only what we need right now, but it's what's happening. And if you see anybody going into struggle or anything, it's because they're not plugging in. They're not evolving with this energy of co-creativeness and co-creation, and where we all need to work together because we all need to save the planet together. I mean, this is no longer about your yard or my yard. This is about our planet, right? And the big scheme. COVID really taught that to us, right? A little teeny tiny little microscopic thing has made everyone on the planet plug into their humanity. Right? We have to solve this together. And we've seen some leadership, in my opinion, that has fallen short. So, and I think women are the ones, because women are the ones that need to lead because we're the ones that care about our families. We're the ones who are protecting our mamas, and in my case, my lap dogs. I don't have kids, but I will protect my lap dog like a ferocious bear if I need to. And I know you ladies know what I'm talking about. And it's that divine feminine, that spirit of mom and spirit of protecting and loving what is your own. It's really what is needed right now in a big way. The divine feminine energy must come forward. So you women leaders, let's go. It's time to rise up, ladies. Are you getting excited? Anyway, so I have some great empowered leader action steps, right? These are empowered leaders take action steps. Empowered leaders don't sit around and think about what they're going to do. They actually put things into motion and they make things happen. And my number one point is they take time daily to do some sort of meditation that includes conscious, deep breathing. Even if you're just doing the F bag, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, that is a breath support exercise. You can do yogic breathing, deep breathing to feed your brain that oxygen, to carry oxygen throughout your body, right? Clears your mind, puts you in that, tickles your amygdala, right? Takes you out of fight or flight, and puts you in that receptive parasympathetic nervous system state where you can heal, relax. You can listen and be led by your guidance and your own personal navigation system. So you need to take time. It's not something nice that you do on spa day anymore. This is essential. You must gain mastery of your energy, and you must include some deep breathing practice. Empowered leaders also identify their mission and visualize it on a regular basis. You got to have your vision board, right? You got to have, for me, it's a project folder, you know, whatever it is for you. And my divine daily day planner practice. I am, you know, I was with Susan 100% when she was telling us about putting things, our goals, time management, everything. My divine daily day timer is like my Bible, right? And I put different things. I have little rituals that I do around things, but I take the time to visualize and to write it down. Or maybe I'm getting 2 goals in there, but that's fine. You get the picture here, ladies. Let's move on. My slide is stuck. That's okay. Number 3, empowered leaders check in with their deepest self by journaling on a regular basis for gratitude. Now, this is different than the day timer ritual. This is where you're having a dialogue with yourself. You're really asking questions of your higher self, your consciousness, and seeing what's up so that you can really have a relationship with your higher self. Talk about want to have a good relationship with your higher self, and all the relationships out there will start to fall into place. They will become richer. Empowered leaders embody self-certainty by knowing and understanding their own unique motivations. Hey, I just love me. I've got that Gemini rising, and we need to have everything in order so that I don't get off topic. That's fine. I get excited. But here's the other thing. I always bring it back around. Okay. Remember, confidence is magnetic. Whatever it is about you, lead with that. It's great. It's fine. And the people that love you and need you will find you. They develop excellent communication skills. Do they develop okay communication skills? No, excellent communication skills. So you have a public speaking coach, you have a voice coach, you have these kind of things. There's lots of people that can help you with these kinds of things. How your presentations are, how your voice, how your diction, everything, anything you need. Do a self-evaluation, see what you need, and don't get what you don't need. Number 6, invest in yourself. If you need a coach, get one. Continue to educate yourself. Maybe you need a coach in a different area that you never considered. Self-care is number 1. So are you okay on that? Do you have somebody that's helping you out with that? Think about these things. Okay. Number 7, are you of service? Empowered leaders are always serving their mission and serving the greater good, a mission higher than themselves. Empowered leaders, I love this one, get published, because getting published makes your methodology, it makes it real. Now you can get published in a best-selling book. That's easy to do. I can tell you how to do that. That's not a problem. You can publish on your blog. Even your social media is publishing, right, Diana? Yeah, right. So also, I want to say to get out there in the world and speak. And this one is, I know that Katarina Rando will give me a big thumbs up for this one. Get out there and speak. so that people can see what you're doing. You have to be visible to lead. You can't be a leader and be sitting at home in social quarantine, right? You need to find a way to reach people. So find whatever that is, however that is for you. Number 10, empower others. Give it back. Share your resources. Learn to cultivate relationships. I'm speeding through these because I have very little time. And number 12, this is the action step that empowered leaders must take. You must lead. Okay? You got to lead. All right? I mean it. It seems like a no-brainer, but it's true. If you are a leader and your heart is being called to lead, then step up. It's time for you to show up, speak up, stand out. It is your time. Okay, ladies, I told you I'd give you a ton of freebies. I have got so many freebies at my website, arielasher.com. It's like a gumball machine. I am not kidding, okay? So if you would like some leadership tips, leadership.arielasher.com. If you would like to know a little bit about self-healing, intuition, and guidance, animallegacies.com, or excuse me, animallegacies.arielasher.com. And my latest book, I'm super happy about this one because I wrote it all about the Schoolhouse Rock song, Suffering Till Suffrage. So Tanya, I know you'll love this one. And that's empowerment.arielasher.com. You can't miss them if you go to my website. Okay, I wanted to make it really easy for you to just get all of this stuff. You know that I have the free streaming series that's on Thursdays, and I'm happy to provide you with that. Please know it is time for you to show up, speak up, and stand out. Make sure that you're ready and that you are out of the witness protection program. We can't have any of that, okay? Now, ladies, I do have an offer for you. If you'd like to hear about my Empowered Leadership best-selling book and visibility program, the Empowered Self-Care Book Project, as it's also known. If you are a self-care advocate or a holistic practitioner, spiritual teacher, I'd love to have you come and talk with me about how you can get on board with either that project or maybe be a speaker on one of my series or on my podcast or television show. Okay, so that is available to anybody who'd like to check that out. I can tell you what's included and all of the bonuses. I did promise you, let me end with this. If you want, now this is fun, like all of that other stuff is all of that work stuff, right? If you would like me to do aura scan on your, and give you a full chakra report, it's got little graphs and everything, so you can see which of my energy centers. I had a client whose throat chakra, she's a speaker, and her throat chakra was closed down to only 30%, I found out by running this scan. Crazy. So we ran that program and we were able to get her some support to get her fifth chakra pumped up. But if you want one of these fun little pictures, I'll even do the, this is from a screenshot here of my aura picture. If you send me your name, email, and I need your birth date and birthplace and a selfie pic to freescan.arielasher.com. If you go to that site, there's a little form, you can fill it out, stick in your birth date and your birthplace, and I would love to see you all having your beautiful rainbow selves on your profile pictures and everything. I'm really enjoying seeing everybody connect in and having rainbow fun. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much. I can see now my timer is red and it's time, and so I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Hooray! Everyone, let's all unmute and give Ariel some real applause. That was amazing.
Yay!
Thank you, Ariel.
Yes.
Yay!
That was awesome.
So awesome. I can't even, like, how am I supposed to recap all of that massive collection of value? I mean, so many tips, so many thoughts, like, that are just, well, no, I don't mean like all over the place. I mean like they're all here, and like I'm overflowing with all of the amazing thoughts and tips and feelings around how to really make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and taking that power within us to go ahead and do that. So love it. And thank you for reminding us to do the aura scan, because I've been meaning to do that and I keep forgetting. So I will remember, because now I've written it down. And the F bag, like, who loved the F bag? It's amazing, right? It's kind of that silly thing. It's like, what is that acronym gonna be? And then it's something really impactful and amazing. So thank you so much, Ariel. Apologize again for the funky hiccup earlier. And thank you for rising to the occasion and being as amazing as you always are, my friend. All right, everyone, it's lunchtime. Who's hungry? Yeah, let's all get some nourishment. It's 11:51 and we are scheduled, Tanya, Athena, are we gonna still take 30 minutes or are we gonna be back at 12:15? You're muted, Tanya.
Yeah, that would be a Tanya.
Yeah, and she was talking, but
12:20.
all right, so 29 minutes, we'll split a little bit of the difference. We'll meet back here at 12:20 with
Tracy's got more bling and
yes
stuff for us.
So you want to make sure to be back, because as we know from before, must be present to win with the next raffle. So Tracy and Ty will be here with us at 12:20. Enjoy your lunch and we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.